The Government Savings Certificate Act 1959, Act number 46 of 1959. An act to make certain provisions in respect of government savings certificates, be it enacted by Parliament in the 10th year of the Republic of India as follows. This act may be called the Government Savings Certificate Act 1959. It shall come into force on such date as the central government may, by notification in the official gazette, appoint. It applies to such class of savings certificate as the central government may, by notification in the official gazette, specify in this behalf. In this act, unless the context otherwise requires, holder in relation to a saving certificate means a person who holds the saving certificate issued in accordance with the provisions of this act and of any rules made thereunder at any time before the date on which the Finance Bill 2005 receives the assent of the President, and an individual who holds a saving certificate issued in accordance with the provisions of this act and of any rules made thereunder at any time on or after the date on which the Finance Bill 2005 receives the assent of the President. Minor means a person who is not deemed to have attained his majority under the Indian Majority Act 1875. Prescribed means prescribed by rules made under this act. Saving certificate means a saving certificate to which this act applies. Transfer means a transfer inter vivos and does not include a transfer by operation of law. Notwithstanding anything contained in any law, for the time being in force, no transfer of a saving certificate, whether made before or after the commencement of this act, shall be valid unless it has been made with the previous consent in writing of the prescribed authority. Notwithstanding any provision in any law for the time being in force, a minor may apply for and hold saving certificates, and any other person may apply for and hold saving certificates on behalf of a minor. Where any saving certificate is held by or on behalf of a minor, the minor shall, whether the saving certificate was applied for and issued before or after the commencement of this act, be bound by the provisions of this act and of any rules made there under applicable to such saving certificate, and by the terms of any declaration made by the applicant for the saving certificate in pursuance of the said rules. Payment of the sum for the time being due on a saving certificate held by or on behalf of a minor may be made to him personally if he himself applied to the saving certificate, or for the use of the minor if the application for the saving certificate was made by any person other than the minor, to any such person being a parent of the minor or guardian of his property as may be specified in that behalf in the form of application, if no such person has been specified, to any guardian of the property of the minor appointed by a competent court, or where no such guardian has been so appointed to either parent of the minor or where neither parent is alive, to any other guardian of the minor. Notwithstanding anything contained in any law for the time being in force or in any disposition, testamentary or otherwise in respect of any saving certificate, where a nomination made in the prescribed manner purports to confer on any person the right to receive payment of the sum for the time being due on the saving certificate on the death of the holder thereof, and before the maturity of the certificate or before the certificate having reached maturity has been discharged, nominee shall on the death of the holder of a saving certificate become entitled to the saving certificate and to be paid the sum due thereon to the exclusion of all other persons, unless the nomination is varied or cancelled in the prescribed manner. Any nomination referred to in subsection 1 shall become void if the nominee predeceases, or where there are two or more nominees, all the nominees predecease the holder of the saving certificate making the nomination. Where the nominee is a minor, it shall be lawful for the holder of the saving certificate making the nomination to appoint in the prescribed manner any person to receive the sum due thereon in the event of his death during the minority of the nominee. A transfer of a saving certificate made in the prescribed manner shall automatically cancel a nomination previously made, provided that where a saving certificate is held by or on behalf of any person as a pledgee or by way of security for any purpose, such holding shall not have the effect of cancelling a nomination, but the right of the nominee shall be subject to the right of the person so holding it. If the holder of a saving certificate dies and there is in force at the time of his death a nomination in favour of any person, payment of the sum due thereon shall be made to the nominee. Where the nominee is a minor, payment of the sum due thereon shall be made in any case where a person has been appointed to receive it under subsection 3 of section 6 to that person, and where there is no such person, to any guardian of the property of the minor appointed by the competent court, or where no such guardian has been so appointed, to either parent of the minor or where neither parent is alive, to any other guardian of the minor. Where the sum due on a saving certificate is payable to two or more nominees and either or any of them dies, the sum shall be paid to the surviving nominee or nominees. If a person dies and is at the time of his death the holder of a saving certificate, and there is no nomination in force at the time of his death, and probate of his will or letters of administration of his estate or a succession certificate granted under the Indian Succession Act 1925 is not within 3 months of the death of the holder produced to the prescribed authority, then if the sum due on the saving certificate does not exceed such limit as may be prescribed, the prescribed authority may pay the same to any person appearing to it to be entitled to receive the sum or to administer the estate of the deceased. Nothing contained in this section shall be deemed to require any person to receive payment of the sum due on a saving certificate before it has reached maturity or otherwise than in accordance with the terms of the saving certificate. Any payment made in accordance with the foregoing provisions of this Act to a minor or to his parent or guardian or to a nominee or to any other person shall be a full discharge from all further liability in respect of the sum so paid. Nothing in subsection 1 shall be deemed to preclude any executor or administrator or other representative of a deceased holder of a saving certificate from recovering from the person receiving the same under section 7 the amount remaining in his hands after deducting the amount of all debits or other demands lawfully paid or discharged by him in due course of administration. Any creditor or claimant against the estate of a holder of a saving certificate may recover his debit or claim out of the sum paid under this Act to any person and remaining in his hands and administered in the same manner and to the same extent as if the latter had obtained letters of administration to the estate of the deceased. The prescribed authority may take such security as it thinks necessary from any person to whom any money is paid under subsection 4 of section 7 for the due administration of the money so paid, and may assign the said security to any person interested in such administration. For the purpose of ascertaining the right of a person claiming to be entitled to payment under subsection 4 of section 7, the prescribed authority may take evidence on oath or affirmation according to the law for the time being in force relating to oaths and affirmations. Any person who upon such oath or affirmation makes any statement which is false and which he either knows or believes to be false or does not believe to be true shall be deemed guilty of an offence under section 193 of Indian Penal Code. No suit or other legal proceeding shall lie against any officer of the government or any prescribed authority in respect of anything which is in good faith done or intended to be done under this Act. The central government may, by notification in the official gazette, make rules to carry out the purposes of this Act. In particular and without prejudice to the generality of the foregoing power, such rules may provide for the form of application for saving certificates and the issue and discharge of such certificates, the maximum limits of holdings, the conditions as to payment of interest or discount relating to any class of saving certificates, and the recovery of any interest paid on any amount held in excess of the maximum limits in the same manner as an arrear of land revenue or in any other manner. The transfer and conversion of saving certificates and the fees to be levied in respect thereof. The replacement of saving certificate mutilated, lost or destroyed, and the fees payable in respect thereof. The form of nominations, the manner in which and the conditions subject to which nominations may be made, and the registration of nominations. The manner in which any person may be appointed for the purposes of subsection 3 of section 6. The variation or cancellation of nominations and the registration of such variations and cancellations. The fees that may be levied for registration, variation or cancellation of nominations. The limit under subsection 4 of section 7. Any other matter which has to be or may be prescribed. Every rule made under this section shall be laid as soon as may be after it is made before each House of Parliament while it is in session for a total period of 30 days, which may be comprised in one session or in 2 or more successive sessions, and if before the expiry of the session immediately following the session or the successive sessions aforesaid, both houses agree in making any modification in the rule or both houses agree that the rule should not be made, rules shall thereafter have effect only in such modified form or be of no effect, as the case may be. So, however, that any such modification or annulment shall be without prejudice to the validity of anything previously done under that rule. The Post Office National Savings Certificate Ordinance 1944 is hereby repealed. Notwithstanding the repeal of the said ordinance, any rules made or deemed to have been made or anything done or any action taken in exercise of any of the powers conferred by or under the said ordinance shall be deemed to have been made, done or taken in exercise of the powers conferred by or under this act as if this act were in force on the day on which such rules were made, such thing was done or such action was taken.